All right, inverse variation is the topic y'all are going to be doing on the video. What inverse variation is? It is a situation that says y varies, totally misspelled that. That was wrong too, but it's okay. Inversely to x. And that basically means that y is going to change in an inverse manner to x, okay? There's two formulas you need to know. You need to know find the constant of variation. Constant of variation is called K. You need to know that x times y equals, oh gosh, K. Excuse me. Once we find K, you got to know that the inverse I'm just going to abbreviate variation as VAR equation as a y equals equation. And it basically just says y equals K over X. We're going to use these two equations to find values of X or Y independently that vary when Y or that occur when Y varies inversely to X. All right, example 1. Fill these in on your notes. Make sure you write everything down so that you'll be able to do your assignment. If y varies inversely of x, write the inverse variation equation and find y for a given x value. When y equals 36 and x equals 9, find y when x equals 6. So what you're going to do first is let's look at a few key things. Y varies inversely of x. That tells me I'm doing an inverse variation. Whoops, that's supposed to be green. Haha. This part is a given. You need to use the given part, the green part, to find your K. Once you find your K, we will then do the second part. So we're going to use the green part to find K. Okay? Use to find K. And on these problems, they are going to give you something given so you can find that K, or they're just simply going to tell you the constant of variation is yada yada. All right, so we know K equals X times Y. That was the formula that I just gave y'all. In this case, X is 9 and Y is 36. Oops. Oops. So K equals 9 times 36. You can just put this in the calculator to get your answer. And you can figure out what K is. I think it's just 2 something, I believe, 2 or 3 something. I think it's 256, so let's see. No, I was wrong. It's 324. Okay, so K is 324. Once you find K, then we're going to use K to write an equation, write the variation equation. This is the second formula I gave you. It said y equaled K over X. when you're writing the formula, you want your y and k to stay as, not y and k, I'm sorry, y and x to be arbitrary, and you're just going to plug in your k. So you'd say y equals 324 over x. So for any x I put in, I can find the y, or any y I put in, I should be able to find my x. So now we're going to do the second part of the question. It says find y when x is 6. So x equals 6, find y. We're going to use this equation right here that we just came up with to do this operation. So this equation needs to come down here. Y equals 324 over x. Do we know what x is? Yeah, we do. It's 6. So y equals 324 divided by 6. Put that in your calculator. And you get y equals 54. So your answer to this one is y equals 54. And that's all you do for example 1. And that is showing that y inverse, varied inversely to x. Now, most of these problems, you're going to have a few of these like this, and then you're going to have some that's like this that are word problems. So if you look on your paper on example 2, you'll see this word problem. Again, I want you to fill it in accordingly, but I want you to help me interpret this word problem. If rectangles have equal area, then their lengths vary inversely to their width. When you're doing these problems, always find that first. Find what varies inversely. So in this case, it says their lengths vary inversely to their width. If you think back to our rule back at the beginning of the video, it says y varies inversely to x is why we got these rules. So if y varies inversely to x, that would mean our length would be y. Our length is going to equal y. And our width is going to be our x. Okay, and that's because it said length varied inversely to width, since y varies inversely to x. Okay, so we need to know these when we're doing our rule. Next, it's saying if a rectangle has a length of 40 and a width of 30, find the width if the length is 48. So this is our given part. They just gave me this. We have a length of 40 and a width of 30. So we got to use the yellow part to find our k. So we're going to say, let's change to red. K equals xy, or xy equals k, same thing. X is width, and that is 30. Y is length, which is 40. So k is going to equal 30 times 40. 30 times 40 is 1,200. Okay? So that is my k. Once I find k, I then need to find the other item they're asking for. Let's go orange. No. Over there. Okay. There. All right. Now, so we've got k. With k, oops, I drew that kind of early. With k, I can write my equation, which is going to say y equals 1,200 over x. In context of this problem, it's basically saying that the length equals 1,200 divided by the width. That is in context to the problem. Now on this question, it's saying find the width if the length is 48. So basically they're giving me the y, and I need to find the x. So when I solve this, I'm going to say 48 equals 1,200 over x. So we just got to get the x by itself. This is basic algebra, but I'm going to go through all the steps to make sure everybody remembers how to do it. Multiply the denominator to the other side. So you would have 48x equal 1200. Then you're going to divide by the number with the x, which is 48. They cancel. X equals 1200 divided by 48. I don't know right off my head. Let's put it in the calculator and get x equals 25. So on this problem, though, you wouldn't tell me x equals 25. You would tell me the width equal 25 units. Since they didn't give me a unit to put it in, you would just say units. And that's how you would do that one. All right, make sure you got those filled in. You have an assignment paper that has a few practice problems like example 1 and a few word problems like example 2. If you have questions, you know where I'm at. Thank you.